Something huge has happened in the GTA housing market, and for some reason, a lot of people actually have no idea that it actually happened. And that is, inventory has increased tremendously in about a month, give or take, since the beginning of March to now the beginning of May. Inventory has increased from somewhere around 12,000 to almost 20,000 active listings. That is a huge increase and changes a lot of things for both buyers and sellers, especially for buyers. One reason for that change is something that not a lot of people think about, but if you really think about what I'm saying in the next couple of seconds, you totally get it. What happens is when the market changes and adjusts, there are that select group of people who see things happening and act fast. They make quick choices, they get on the market, and they get a good deal. What happens afterwards is people see other people succeeding, be it in selling or buying, and their next step is, well, eventually, you know what, maybe I'm going to get on the market. And so by the time they hit the market, as in the case of sellers in the spring of this year, 2024, what happens is, well, everyone has the same great idea at the same time, and now you got this huge inventory. And now being on the market is not nearly as advantageous as it was a month ago. That's one reason for it. There are two major ones that I'll discuss, but let me get out of here. Beautiful people, I welcome you to the May 2024 housing market update. Let me move myself here. Please forgive the slightly hoarse voice. I've been doing a lot of talking recently because I've been getting a lot of questions and such about the housing market. So this month, real quick, this is actually important. Forgive me for sounding like a politician. Every update is always the most important. Actually, this is huge because this increase has actually caught all of the people that I know that are very smart, very knowledgeable about the market, and have been right up to this point, even caught them off guard, myself included. So two major reasons why for this huge increase in new listings. I just discussed one. I'm going to give you some numbers on the mortgages, and I'll give you the second reason, main reason why it's happening, among many others. Buyers, why you really, really, really need to take advantage, and will you? Something that I've mentioned in the past few updates is that buyers really need to take advantage when they can. The buyer's window of opportunity is always much, much smaller than the sellers in the GTA, certainly has been in the past couple of decades. And let's look at a sobering look on affordability. There's housing inventory, and then there's affordable housing inventory. Affordability, very, very low. I'll give you some numbers. If nothing else, it maybe sobers you up a little bit into getting into the market. My intent always for your benefit, in all sincerity. So as always, Andrew the Realtor, I'm bringing this to you guys on a monthly basis, among other things that I do on my YouTube channel. Is again, just for information, it's for you guys. Hit like and subscribe, please. That way I know that you're viewing these. I watch the viewing numbers go up month after month, which is very good. I appreciate that. Stick with me to the end. Honestly, it's good information throughout. Minimal opinion, more just actual facts on the ground. And of course, if you need anything, it's oftentimes I hear from realtors, but hopefully quite often people are looking to sell or buy. Reach out, contact me. You can click on the bottom of the description of the video. There's a 15-minute conversation with myself on Calendly. Book it there. Listen, I'm not pushy. I don't sell anything other than homes and provide information like this. So let's move right into the market update. So first things first, this is, I mentioned the first is people all having the same great idea at the same time, getting into the market. Inventory gets flooded and the market slows down a little bit. So the whole advantage of being on the market in a seller's market kind of gets ruined. That's the first reason why there's so much inventory. Here's the second, and this is really, really important. Here's an amazing stat from an article I had. So crazy statistics. 80% of all mortgages outstanding as of March of 2022, up for renewal in 2024. So what's going to happen? In 22, where were the rates? They were just starting to come up. They're very low, just starting to come up. Where are we in 2024? We have not yet had that drop. June or July of this year, more than likely going to have a slight drop, and then things are really going to pick up. But until then, if people are doing it sometime now or even later, it's still not going to be anywhere near where they had the interest rates before. I know of clients that have interest rates under 2%, 2.5%. These people are going to be facing 5%, 5.5%, maybe 4.9% if they're lucky. So the point is, a lot of the people are going to be selling because they don't want to longer have the house, or maybe just getting too expensive. So that's one reason. The other is all the same stuff. In 2020 and 2021, the very beginning of the COVID lockdowns and everything else, the mortgage interest rates were quite low. And a lot of people took what? What do they usually take? 1 year, 3 year, or 5 year? Now, you had 1 year obviously it doesn't apply to us now. We had 3 years to 2020 or 2021. Where are we? 2023, 2024. So here we are now with an influx of people looking to sell because now their mortgage rates are significantly higher and their mortgage on a monthly basis is significantly higher. That's going to continue right probably into next year. So that's going to keep happening because interest rates, while they will go down, they're not going to go down to 2.5 or 1.9 or wherever they were back in 2020 and 2021. So those two reasons are important to note. So buyers, you may have a chance here this year. So have a look moving forward. Now, this is what's been happening with interest rates. Now, yes, June is the next meeting. We're in the beginning of May right now. And of course, we've been staying flat for quite a long time, interestingly. And you see how busy the market has been. I'll show you some numbers on the actual sales. Sales are still staying high. It's just that the inventory and the new listings are so high. It's quite amazing, to be honest with you. And the fact that things are still selling really well, especially in some areas of the GTA, that's utterly astounding. But here's what's been happening. So, of course, June 5th is the next one. Maybe the rates will go down. We'll see. Kind of see what happens in the States. Maybe that'll affect us a little bit. And what's happening in the economy and the inflation numbers, which I'm going to show you shortly. But if not then, more than likely July. September, certainly at the latest. The point is, at some point it's going to come down, which is going to help some buyers get back into the market. Those buyers who are getting into the market later when they hear about the interest rates drop, listen, if that's you, don't wait. Do not wait. Get in the market May. Get in the market in June. Trust me, because the inventory is high and it's only rising right now. Onward. So let's look at this. Sorry. The two circles here. This is inflation rates. I have these almost every month at this point. Of course, I circled in red the highest, 8.1%. That was in the middle of 2022. That's the highest it's been. And of course, we were still coming out of the lockdowns and everything else at that point. And 2022 was a crazy year for the market. So 2024, where we at now? The last numbers we have are from the month of March, 2.9. So 2.9, 2.8, 2.9. Pretty steady and inevitably going down slowly. So trying to get to that goal of 2%. The point being, rates are steady. The rates have been steady. The market has been steady. And one kind of theme I want to underline here is, one, opportunity for buyers. It's a huge opportunity for buyers. But for buyers and sellers, the prices are not going down. They have not been going down. Even despite anything else that's been happening. Even with the increase in inventory, the prices are still maintaining pretty strongly. Watch these numbers. So let me move to the middle here. I don't want to hurry, but I want to be respectful of you guys' time. But I really appreciate you guys watching this. Please stay with me. So on the left on the screen, you have the year over year, April 2024 versus 2023. Now, sales in general down 5%. That's not a big deal, by the way. That happens, whatever. We had a few days of bad weather. These kinds of things change. But generally speaking, the sales are pretty normal. That's why it's blue. It's neither green or red. It's not really moving anywhere. It's decent, very decent April of this year. Price is up 0.3%. So that's basically the same. But the same is still a big deal considering where we were in 2023 in terms of a busy market. Plus all the stuff that's been happening and the interest rates have gone up, not down since that time. Remember, in the summer of 23 when the rates went up twice. So with that in mind, that's the same. Now look at new listings. Here's where it's nuts. Guys, look at the numbers. If you don't believe me, look at the numbers. New listings, April of 23, 11,500. April of 2024, last month, almost 17,000, almost 50% increase. That's new listings hitting the market. Remember, we're still selling well, so that's not. So those things are being eaten up by the buyer demand. But look at active listings, 10,300 versus 18,000. That is a huge difference. Days on market is 28, slightly more than April of 2023, but I mean that's probably going to change a little bit. Nonetheless, look at that. They're still selling in a month. What an amazing market. The fact that, look at those prices, pretty much still the same. Townhouses are down, but take it with a grain of salt. It's only 1 month. It's the average. Now, moving to the other side, this is the monthly, April versus March of this year. Sales are up. This should be in April. It's a bit of a busier month in general, but nonetheless, up. And price, April versus March, up 3%. Take that with a grain of salt as well. But the point is, do you notice how little negative there is overall, even in the past few months? That's how amazing and strong the market is. And of course, new listings. Look at the listings, March versus April. So March, 13,000. April ended at almost 17,000. Right now, in the first week of May, finishing the first week of May, we're well into almost 20,000 active listings. So never mind new listings. Look at active listings and look at what we are now, 20,000. So it's a huge influx. The point being, inventory is out there. Buyers, I know what happens. I know the psychology. Too many options, you start to slow down. Oh, I have my pick of the litter. Listen, these never last long. Please hear my words. You can put me on the calendar. You can make fun of me. You can make fun of me in the comment section in a month or two from now if this changes and I'm wrong. But this doesn't last for too long. Take advantage. If this lasts now through the summer, take advantage. If you're a buyer, especially first-time home buyers, people who may be buying and selling elsewhere and moving to GTA, you have an amazing opportunity that doesn't happen very often, and it doesn't last very long. The last time was the latter half of last year. It was a very strange market. So, okay. Sellers, keep in mind, prices haven't changed much. Still perfectly easy to sell. Let me minimize myself a little bit here. I want to show you some mortgage numbers. because affordability is something I don't want to laugh about. Listen, the reality is what it is. There's nothing that can be changed about that. We are a world-class city in Toronto, in the GTA in general. I know not everyone always thinks about that, especially people have been in Toronto for a long time. I promise you it is. Here's the thing. Look at the Toronto numbers. Look at Pickering numbers. Look at Ajax. Over $1 million on average. This is home average, not necessarily condos and stuff. Average home. Okay, now watch this. Let's look at the lowest, Oshawa, the Schwa. Some of you know the area very well, out on the east side of Durham. 808 is almost 809, 809,000. Now, first of all, is that affordable? Honestly, not so much. And in fact, I wanted to, forgive me, I don't want to be negative. I want to give you guys a sobering reminder of what costs actually are like. So you have 809,000, we'll say, in Oshawa, Ontario. And I did a quick calculation in terms of 5%. I did a custom 5% mortgage, which is pretty, you can get that right now. Let's say 25 years. You can probably do 30 years and lower that a little bit. But the point is, I want to give you the right numbers. 5% down or 6.9% down, 5%, and then what's left of up to $1 million. You're looking at 4,500, 4,300, down to the lowest number of 3,763, and that's with a down payment of 162,000 basically. Now add some land transfer tax, add closing costs to that. I mean, that's a lot of money. The point is, inventory is huge, but please understand that what they're talking about in the news, in this particular aspect, they're right. There's not a lot of affordable housing. How they're going to do it, that's not for me to do. That's for politicians and everybody else. In terms of the regular retail GTA housing market, this is it. And this is Oshawa. This is the cheapest. Never mind Toronto or Pickering or maybe a large home in Toronto. You're going to double this. So the point is, this is what the affordability is at. If you don't know, pause this. Take a look at the numbers. You have a very sobering, very real idea of what this is. And if it's a condo, keep in mind maintenance fees. Okay, guys, so let's sum this up. Make myself a little bit bigger. Not that I'm particularly important. So if you guys are thinking of buying, and I've done this before, and I hope you hear this. I never know exactly who's watching this. I keep the analytics. I keep watching them. Listen, there's not a shortage of inventory. There's a shortage of affordable inventory. We just talked about this in the previous slide. But there's not a shortage of availability. Please understand that. There's lots of opportunity out there. If you own a home, and your thing was in the past few months, as it has been maybe over the past few years, well, Andrew, where would I move to? Listen, there's a lot of opportunity out there now. And you can still sell at a decent price. So you work out those numbers, and that's something I discuss always with sellers is knowing your numbers. So for buyer side, there's not a shortage of inventory. Listen, call me. Seriously, figure out where you want to go. We'll figure out your budget. We can do it so quickly within a few days. You already know exactly what you can afford and where. And you can start looking at stuff, getting a feel for whether this is something you want or not with absolutely no obligation whatsoever. So while some neighborhoods of the GTA are still seeing multiple offers, and I see this, parts of Toronto, Toronto West still get some multiple offers here and there, many are not. So again, buyers, 1, inventory, 2, less competition. Those offer dates, they're not always working for sellers. Take note. And this is what opportunity looks like. Sometimes people think there's going to be a bubble burst, it's going to drop 30%, and that's when the buyers go in. Guys, do you know how rare it is that you actually get in the chance to do that? Because when it happens, you probably won't be ready. You'll be waiting for more. Just like I talked in the very beginning of this video in the introduction, you'll wait for that perfect time, and then a million people will have the same idea at the same time. Take advantage. This, buyers, this is what opportunity looks like. Sellers, take note. Pricing right now is very important. You need to know what your house is worth. This is no longer the thing, well, I'm maybe 1, maybe 1.1. You know what? I'll list it at $8.99. Let's see what happens. It's not that kind of market. You have to have a realtor who actually knows their stuff, and you have to be able to figure out what pricing is. Know the competition. Offer dates are still okay depending on the area. Some areas, honestly, you got to let this tactic go for now, because some people are going to say, well, why am I going to fight with possibly other people on this property when there's 5 more over here that I can go to? That's what buyers think. It's important to know somebody who knows about what buyers are thinking. So know the competition, know what's out there. Again, have a realtor who researches these things. I do it all the time for people who aren't even necessarily on the market yet. So stop hiring lazy realtors. For heaven's sake, this is not the market for it. Even in the hottest market, you're still probably losing on thousands upon thousands, probably tens of thousands of dollars, because if you don't market just right and people don't pay top dollar for something. But right now, in a market where there's lots of inventory, how are you going to stand out if you have cell phone photos, which I still see on a regular basis? You can see the guy taking the photo in the photo. Anyway, no more lazy realtors. Get the stuff done. Get the marketing done. Put it on YouTube. Get a few thousand views. Get people who aren't even looking for the property or a property seeing and go, hey, you know what? That's available. If that's available, I want to buy it. And that's available. We'll go have a look. As always, know your numbers, guys. This is huge. Sellers and buyers, you have to kind of know the same thing. But sellers especially, know the value of your home. what your budget is in terms of the purchase, what the difference is. Now there's capital gains involved. Is this your primary residence or is this a rental property? Listen, there's a lot of stuff involved. You have to know your numbers. Give me a shout. Always, my contact information is always at the bottom of the video, or get that 15-minute Calendly, click on it. Give me 15 minutes of your time. We'll talk about your numbers. We'll figure out some stuff. If nothing else, you know what to do next. Even if it's nothing, you still know. So, guys, that's the end of the update. I've mentioned in the past few updates, I've been working with a marketing company that works with shopping malls specifically. I want to have something different than the usual boring real estate website. So I did like an app thing. The website is www.askandrew.realtor. It's still in the works. I'm still adding some stuff in there, but I've added a few teammates on there. I have a great lawyer, personal lawyer. I get nothing for it. No referral fees, no kickbacks or anything. A great mortgage guy, a great lawyer, and a great inspector. If you're in the market, if you're a realtor, call those people. They're amazing to work with. I have them on there in terms of some of the sources. That little site, that little app is really what it is. I'm trying to get an real estate experience for buyers to continue on in the journey, walk through the process, figure out what to do next, for sellers to know what to do next and that kind of thing. And all my contact info is all over the place. You can always contact me. So I'm working on that. Always enjoy feedback. So feel free to comment here, or you can even contact me and say, hey, Andrew, listen, have you thought about doing this on this page or this on this page? I have no ego in this. I'm happy to hear. And as always, guys, this is for you, sincerely. YouTube, there's no money in YouTube for me. I know there's, I'm not Mr. Beast. So lots of valuable information. This is big, especially this month with inventory that's probably going to continue into June. Buyers, man, get off your butts. Give me a shout. I'll find you a good mortgage person, or get a good mortgage person. Have them contact me. We'll get out there and start looking at stuff immediately. If you need help, reach out, hit like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. I always appreciate your time. And again, forgive me the hoarse voice in the month of June. Sweet heavens, it'll be better. Guys, take care of yourselves.